Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Fernvalley Farm's YouTube channel. My name is Vince, and on this channel, we are pure country, like I always say. All right, we're doing the next step of this building, which is getting the trusses ready. If it's a little dark, it's because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm outside my barn. I love coming outside early. It's quiet and peaceful, and I just love mornings. I know. Anyways, what I'm doing, because I really don't have help to lift these trusses up, is I'm going to build them up in the air. They're only 18 feet, so it's not that big of a deal if you build it piece by piece. As you can see on the floor, I've got the pattern kind of laid out. Tip this down. I've got these angles all cut. This is a 4. You see me here? This is a 412 pitch. This is 18 feet with a 412 pitch. I know I'm going to say this wrong, but to figure out your pitch, it's 18 feet. You take your length, which is 18 feet long. You cut that in half. That's 9. And then you divide that, which comes out to 3 feet. 3, 6, 9. So 3 feet from here to the peak is your 412 pitch. And I was 12 feet. You cut that in half. Or if it was 24 feet, you cut that in half. That's 12. Divide that, it'd be 4. 4, 8, 12. It'd be 4 feet from the bottom to the top. This is 18. Cut it in half. That's 9 feet. Divide that. That comes out to 3. 3, 6, 9. So the bottom to the top, that gives you a 412 pitch. Now, depending on where you live, what kind of climate you're in, that can all change. Up here in northern Illinois, most buildings are 412. You can go even steeper if you want. But I'm just going with a 412 pitch on this. And if I'm saying any of that wrong, somebody can correct me. I have no problem with that. Me and math don't get along too well. But I know that's the dimension for this pitch. So what I'm doing, this is the bottom plate right here. There's your bottom board. It's actually just under 18 feet. And I'll show you why in a second. And then my angles are cut. I've got my angles cut here. Let me zoom this in. I've got my angle cut there, and you can see my angle is cut here. Top. I've got my center board, which is, give me something here. I need, give me this. This will work. Okay, I have a pointer. So my center board here is cut at the proper angles. It's hard to do with this like this. So my board here and here, obviously it's flat there, it's cut at the right angle here. These angles are cut at the right angle. The easiest way to do is just to lay this out on the ground. Lay it out, draw your lines, cut them, and there's my pattern. So what I'm going to do, back this up a little bit here. Before I put anything up in the air, I'm going to cut each one of these. Well, there's 2 for each. I'm only putting 3 trusses up. I got to cut 3 of those. Well, 4 more actually of those. Cut that center bar. Get that center brace. Cut that. And these here are already. I'll show you. You can see up in the air that one there, and then the middle one is already up, and you can see the angle is already cut. See the angle's already cut there. Hold on. And over there. And then you can see in the middle, it's already cut there. Yeah, so those angles are already cut. So what I'm going to do is that last brace, this one right there, I'm going to take that and put that on the far back. Obviously, it's dark right now. I'm going to get that marked, get that up there today, but I wanted to show this step before I did any of this, before I got it up in the air. You know, there's times when you don't have help. So you need to figure out a way to do this stuff yourself. Yeah, it's hard to see me in the dark there. So there's times when you don't have help. So you got to figure out ways to do this by yourself. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this have done the same thing. If there's a will, there's a way. Figure it out yourself. So it's not going to be that difficult. It's only, like I said, they're not that big of trusses. So what I'll do is I'll put the side pieces on. This way. I'll put the long side ones on first. Actually, I'll tack the middle brace up first. And what I'm going to use, let me show you here. I've got these nailing plates. Hopefully you can see this. Let me back this up. There's some more light here. You can buy these nailing plates. This is what they built when they put trusses together. They use these kind of plates. I got small ones and I got the big ones. The big ones are going to go on the ends, which I'll show you when I get to that step. These small braces here are going to go right in the middle for the center brace on the 2x4. So let me kind of get this thing set up. In the next video, it'll be daylight. You can see a little bit better because I'm sure you really can't see me too well here. But I wanted to get this step done because I get out here so early in the morning. I got so much stuff to do. So like I said, if there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to nail that center plate up. I'll put these side ones up and start nailing the whole thing together. It'll be fine. And then once the trusses are all up, I'll start stringing the purlings, which are the 2x4s that go across your roof to hold it all together. But let me just kind of get this thing set up, and then I will turn the camera back on when I go to put it up in the air in the daylight. So we'll be back. All right, well, it's starting to look like a building. It's light out now, huh? Big difference than a little while ago when I did that video in the dark in the barn. I come out here really early. I love getting outside early. It's still kind of warm out. It's supposed to be 80 still today, but the weather's about to change soon, which I don't really care. I'll work out here in the cold. But I wanted to show you guys that video the other morning. Getting those trusses, getting those patterns laid out. And of course it changed. You know, that's why I wanted. What I did is I started part of this instead of you guys just sitting here watching me work and cussing at myself. And I wanted to get part of it going so I could show you and explain to you what I did here. Okay, so you see this top. Let's see if I can do this here. I can see myself in the camera here. Actually, you know what? I have a, where is it? Hold on. I got a stick. This is like a pointer, like being in school. Okay, what I did here, the center brace, which is behind this 4x4, I had that center brace. Remember I showed you on the ground? I had those center braces lined up. Let me lower this just a little. Okay. I had that center brace cut, but what I had to do is I got the angles cut, and I put the corner in. I put the corner in on that side, and I put the corner on that side, and I took a board, which I'll show you in a second. I nailed the board from one side I nailed the board from the top to the bottom, just to hold it in place. Like I said, this is only an 18-foot building. If this was 24 or bigger, it'd been a little. You probably could have done it with a 24, but it'd just been a little bit harder. But these boards are only 9 foot something, so it's not that difficult. Like I said, if there's a will, there's a way. So I put those boards up. I nailed them on the corners. I just tacked them. I didn't drive the nails all the way through. I just tacked them so they wouldn't move. Then I went up to the center, and I got the center up together. I got them joined. And, of course, they were off just a hair, not much, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. So I had to get them up in the air, and to tell they were off, if you look up here, see those 2x4s? These over here running across, I've got from that truss to this truss here, straight up on top. That's my level right there. Those boards are level. So what I had to do is I put the board I put the 2x4 on that one first, ran it across, I leveled it, and then I ran the other board. Okay, wait a minute, I'm saying the wrong thing here. Let me start that over again. What I did, I got that board up, I got that board up, I got them joined where they're supposed to be. Let me back up here. I'm saying the wrong thing. Tip this down again a little bit. There, as long as you can see it. What I did is I got those boards joined in the middle. I got those two, because those boards were exactly right on the money. So I got those two cuts even. And you can't see it. Let me see if you can see it from over here. Now that beam is in the way. I'll show you on these other ones. That post is in the way. But I got those angle cuts perfect, and that point is perfect. I tacked it up like I said, kind of like what I did here. You know what? I'm going to put this out here. Hold on. This fog is pretty thick this morning, and I need to get this video done so I can finish this part. You can see these you can see these boards here. There's one here, and there's one. I cannot see anything on this. Yeah, you can see it. That board there, and there's another one on the other side of that ladder. What I did is I put those two braces up, and I nailed boards just to hold it in place. So then I came across over here, and you can see those 2x4s up there. Let me see if this is going to work. Well, having a camera person sure would help. Okay, then when I put these other ones up, when I put the next braces up, when I put that one, and where's the board at? Okay, this ain't working well. Anyways, when I ran the other boards across, I did the same thing. I tacked them up in the corner. I tacked them in the corners here, over there, and on the other side to hold them in place. I nailed up 2x4s just to hold the boards up, is what I did. So now, up on top, this is where it comes into the part I was just explaining. These 2x4s running across, I cannot get this camera at the right angle because it's foggy. These 2x4s running across on the very top on the peak, that's what leveled it. So after I got those two joints together, so it was even and level, and I made sure it was level this way because I know those posts were level, so I made sure it was level this way, which is really important. I either use a 2-foot level or a 6-foot level, or a 5-foot, I should say, level. And then when I put the next ones up, I did the same thing. But now this is where it gets important. When I put those two boards up, this center plate here, that center plate there was cut. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. That center brace was already cut. Well, now after I put those roof, after I ran the 2x6 across for the roof, I put the points together. Well, then I put the 2x4s on. I nailed the 2x4 to that end, and I nailed the 2x4 to that end. There's where it's going to get important. Now you got to make sure it's level. Now that was off just a little bit. So what I had to do, that's why nothing was tacked like this, like these. What I did is I nailed it to the top, and I just nailed it right here. But I was able to pull the board out. So I popped the board out, raised it up a little bit, tacked it back in, and then I put my level on those 2x4s up on top, made sure it was level, which it was after I adjusted it. And then the other 2x6 had to be raised up maybe 1/8 of an inch. Put the 2x4s across, made sure it was level. That's how you get your build. That's where it gets really important. You got to be level. If you're crooked, it's going to show as you're putting your roof on. And obviously, like here, we have snow. We have a lot of weight, so you got to make sure. That your roof is set perfect for the weight. So yeah, so that's where it gets important. I was checking my camera. I thought something was off there. That's where it's important. If that roof is crooked, you get all that snow weight on it, then you're gonna have a problem. So you want to make sure you're level all the way across. So when I put those 2x6s on, I had to raise them up just a hair. Then this board here, even though I had it cut, when I showed you guys on the ground, when I had that thing cut, I had to adjust that one just a little. I think I had to shave a 16th or an eighth, maybe an eighth of an inch of it off, and I adjusted it that way. But I didn't put that board in until I had it level all the way across. Then I cut it, put it in, and you see the plates? Those metal plates, those are a lot easier to put on the ground. Those are really hard to nail up in the air. What I'm going to wind up doing, I got those plates on, but up in the air I'm going to make some plates out. You could take pieces of like 1/2-inch plywood and cut yourself a plate and just nail a whole bunch of nails. You know, you could do 4, 4, 4, 4, whatever. Just nail a whole bunch. That'll do the same thing. Just nail the heck out of it. It'll do the same thing. So I got to get on the back side of that and nail that too. The plate worked, but it's hard. The bottom, this part here, that part there I nailed when it was on the ground. When they're on the ground on cement, boy, those things just go right in. But up in the air, there's nothing solid, so it moves, and it's hard to get them in. I did get them in. It is holding. Those plates are great. But if you're building trusses on the ground, it's beautiful. You put it on a flat surface, nail them. You can lift those things. They twist, they bend. They won't come apart. I love those plates. But anyways, up in the air, it's a little trickier. But like I said, if there's a will, there's a way. So I got the plates in. I've got it nailed. That is not going anywhere. So now what I did is I'm on this side now. So I moved across, and I want to show you how off it is. But all I did, let me see here. If you can see that. Boy, it's really foggy here, isn't it? If you look up, you could see, I don't think you could see it from this angle. Let me bring this out here. Making a video up in the air, right? Okay, you see how that, I'm going to hold this camera up and talk. See how that's off? All I did was nail it. I tacked it on that corner right there. I tacked it on that corner right there. You can see the two, but you can see I just got scrap lumber holding it together there. I put it up in the air, I just tacked it. I put it up in the air, I just tacked it. It's all I was doing. And you can see it's off. See that? And that's fine. All I was doing was tacking it. But now, this 2x4 on this side, the one that's got two braces, those two braces, that board is level. I put a level on that one, and that board is level. So now what I'm going to do, and you can see the big gap. So I'm going to try and do this. You guys could watch, even though I always said I don't like to do video of people just watching. Seems like there's light, right? Just the fog. Let's try it over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that board off, the one next to the ladder, and I'm going to raise that board up. Then I'm going to get on the ladder and make sure that other 2x4 is level. So I'm just going to pop this board, and I'm going to just join it. And you can see how it went right in the gap there, but that's got to come down. And most likely I'm going to have to cut this. But let's see what it looks like first. It's not that far off. I might just be able to tap it. If I just tap it down, you can see now, see it's together, but see how it's higher? So that board might have to come off and be trimmed. We're going to find out in a second here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can tap that down. I'm going to tap it down, and then I'm going to go on that other purling and check to see if it's level or not. If it's level, then we're good. If it's not, I got to trim it. So I'm going to come right here really quick. Let's just see. I'm just out of curiosity, I'm going to see how out of level it is. That board's going to have to be trimmed because I can't pound that down. That's why this is easier when you build these on the ground. Doing this up in the air makes it a little trickier, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do it's only off. I don't know if you can see me doing this or not here. This actually is only off. Oh, it ain't off by much. It's just okay. So what I could do here, actually I'm not off that much. So what's going to happen? This ladder, this hammer. Since it's off a little bit, I'm going to raise it. All that's got to do is go up like a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm just going to raise this up. And this works just fine with scrap lumber. Oh, slipped. There. Yeah, this works just fine with scrap. Now I'm going to check it to see if it's level. A lot up and down on the ladder. Yeah, if you can build these on the ground, it's a lot easier. Problem is you need help getting them up in the air. Now let's see how level it is. I went too much. That's what I thought. I went too much, and I could see it. I went too much. So I'll just drop it down just a hair. I had a feeling I went too much when I put it on. I could just kind of tell. So just try it right there. Okay. All right, I got to shave that board. I'm just going to do it right up in the air, actually. Instead of taking all that apart. This is kind of a pain doing this up in the air, but and like usual, I can't find my pencil. What I'm going to do, instead of taking this thing all apart, I'm just going to shave it. I'm going to shave about an eighth of an inch off. I got my straight line. If I shave it there, I know you can't see this. I hate doing this stuff up in the air. It's a pain. Now, if I'm off a little bit, that's fine, because I can make up that gap. I can make up that gap with a plate. I should be right on the money. Right on the money, there. That one's right on. That one actually is right on, but of course I'm not satisfied, so I want to just double check it. Always double check your work. This is really important. You don't want your roof off out of level. Especially when you live up here with snow. See, I should have left it alone. I do that. I just can't leave well enough alone. I want it perfect. Which I could see where it was, so pop it out carefully and bring it right back. Is it time for a cup of coffee yet? It's almost time for coffee. All right, let's check it now. Right on the money, there. That one's on the money, finally. Now we gotta get this one. And I can see this one's off. Actually, not bad. Okay, there it is, finally. This is actually a few hours later. I had to stop the camera. I had to go do something else. I came back to it. You guys didn't need to see me climbing up and down the ladder 150 times to get this thing straight. That's why it's nice with two people. One person can adjust, one person can measure, and you're done. You're doing it by yourself. You got to go back and forth, back and forth. So now if you look at that, it's pretty much right on the money. You can see there's about 1/4 of an inch difference. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can show you this here. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with doing this yourself. Let me see. You can see that it's up about 1/4 of an inch, which isn't bad. I shouldn't say doing this yourself, doing the trusses up in the air. If you build them on the ground, they're right on the money. And that's really, really not bad. That's pretty much right on. All I got to do now is nail that face plate on. I'll hammer the metal plate onto the bottom one. The top one, I found the trick to it, is put the plate up on top, nail the plate with regular nails right through it. It holds it in place. And then when you go to nail it on, the plate will grab. Like I keep saying, it's easier to do this on the ground. Then plates bite right in if you got a nice flat, hard surface. But doing it up in the air, you got to kind of jockey things around a little bit. But it works. So there are the trusses. Let me back this out. Okay, here are the trusses. Let me get so the sun's not in the way here. You can see through all the ladders and all the boards, and there are the trusses. They're all up. All I got to do is now is put the face plates on, which you don't need to see me do that. I'm sure you guys kind of get that figured out, how to do that. You could even make face plates with wood. Take 1/2-inch plywood. Take 1/2-inch plywood, cut your face plates, nail them on a lot. Put a lot of nails in them. That thing won't move anywhere. And then when you put the purlings on, the purlings are the 2x4s that run across the roof. That'll be the next step. I can actually put the camera in the yard, and I can do the left side of the building here. You'll see exactly how the purlings go on. Those will be probably about 2 feet apart with purling nails, which I'll get into that when we get to that next step. Purling nails are they're really nice. They're actually, what am I trying to say? I forgot the word, the name. They're almost like threaded. I'll think of it in a minute here. A purling nail. What is the name of the nail? I can't think of it. I'll think about it when we get to that video. Anyways, when those things bite in, they don't come out because they're kind of got like a thread to them. When you hammer those in, you better make sure you got them in the right way because they ain't coming out. When we get to the purlings, that'll be the next step. So let me take the camera over here. I'll show you. What is the name of those nails? Just popped out of my head. I'll think about it when I turn the camera off, right? So what's going to happen here is on that roof, you can see, like I said, the top ones are up there. That's level all the way across. It's right on the money. So those boards will actually see, you can see the ones on the left over here. These over here are laying flat. These are standing straight on their edge. That's how you want to put them on. The flat ones are laying flat just to hold everything in place, so it's level. The end truss is level up and down because the post is level. It's right to the post. The middle one is level now. I straightened that out. That's why I put those two boards on and then ran the boards to this side. That one I know is straight because those posts are straight. If you're doing more trusses, like if this was a longer building, let's say this was a 24-foot building, I would actually have these trusses probably, about 6 feet apart. That center truss would be moved over a couple of feet, and there'd be another one about 6 feet past that. Let's see, 6, 12, 18. Yeah, they'd be 6 feet apart. I would have one more truss if this was a 24-foot building. But since it's only 21, this will work. It's not exactly how you want to do it. If a professional, if a builder was going to come build it this way, they would probably do it a little bit different. But I've built enough of this stuff, and I know what works, what doesn't work. So I know that'll be fine. And once I put all those 2x4s on there, that thing isn't moving anywhere. That span is only like 9 feet. It's not going to hurt nothing. I did the same thing in this building over there. See next to my trailer, the corner of it? I'll show you. That building over there, that's my shop. I did this exact same thing over there, and it's holding up perfectly fine. So, yeah, that one's holding up perfectly fine. So this one here, I know is going to work. And where this is sitting, not that enough snow can't pile up on top of that, but the way the snow blows around here in the wintertime, the way this building is facing north and south, snow is not going to pile up high on it like if it was facing east and west. Like my big building here, the west side of that building, the south side of that building gets a lot of snow on it because it blows from the north. It blows from the north, comes over the top of that ridge, and settles on that side of the building. I get a lot of snow sometimes on there. That building actually fell, part of that in 2014. I had it rebuilt. That's why that corner is still busted like that. I just never finished it because I opened up the end to use it for to get in and out easier. But anyway, that's another story. Back to this. So there's your building, there's your roof, there's your trusses. All I got to do now is finish putting the plate on that end truss right there. And then when we get to the purlings, I will show you how the purlings go. And then we're ready to roof it. I want to get it roofed probably within the next few weeks here. I just got to get the materials. And we're good. But as I start putting these purlings on, because some of the stuff at the very beginning here is important, and I'll explain why. These first couple of purlings at the edge are important, and I'll show you why when we get to that part as far as when you're putting your pro rib on. So that's about it. I think that is everything. So I think that's everything. So trusses are up, nail it down, purlings are next. I'm like standing like way over here. That's better. So any questions, comments, go ahead and ask. This works. I know it works. Building the trusses on the ground is hard, but see, if there's a will, there's a way you can do it. So now the next step is to tie it all together. So when we get to that next video, I will show you that, which is purlings. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. Give it a try. Like I said, when you're doing this yourself, you got to figure out ways to do this by yourself. And it works. It takes a little bit of jockeying around, but you can get it done. So any questions, comments, please leave them. Hopefully you liked the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Click that little button right there. Where's it at? Right over here somewhere. Click that little button right there, subscribe. If you do subscribe, there's a little bell next to the subscribe button. Click that bell. I'd appreciate it. Thumbs up are always appreciated. So until the next step of this build at YouTube, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.